sure we got everything on and off going on here. Welcome to this Monday's question and answer. I can see lots and lots of questions coming in, so thank you very much all for that. Before we go any further, I'm going to take the phone out of my pocket because that's buzzing away. Okay, can everybody hear me? And more importantly, can everyone hear?
Can everyone hear me?
Can't hear you, Andrew Berry. All okay now?
Oh.
Yes. Should be hearing me. No, you can't hear me for some reason or other. Why can't you hear me? Is my battery pack gone? Is it? Oh, the battery pack's gone in there.
You sound far away.
I am very far away.
I'm okay.
Right. My battery's gone in here. Do you know what? That was off.
Well, that's not a good start, is it?
This is why we always try and start on that little bit.
Okay.
Dun, dun.
You're going to fix yours now then?
Yep, it's all done. There we go. Oh, good. Thank you, Amco, for that. Very good of you all. Yeah, so how is everyone today? We've managed to get the microphones working. So can everyone hear us now? And again, yeah. Louise, can everyone hear Louise?
Can everyone hear me?
Okay now, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad for that. All right, so we thought we'd come on to that a little bit early today because we are both absolutely shattered, to say the least. Yeah. I got my super sauce today, so we can go into two. There we go. So Louise is up there, and you're up there. See?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And I can take that off now. Oh, it's very flash, this technology, isn't it? But the problem is you're looking away from me, so I should have swapped them round the other way, shouldn't I?
If I'm looking here, I'm looking away from you.
You're looking away from me now. Look at me now.
I need to. If I'm talking, I need to do that, do I? Face the wall.
And I need to do this way then to look at you or this way.
I need to look down.
Because I got the cameras the wrong way round.
I need to do that.
Oh, right. So, yes, good news. Last night was the Best of Welsh Business Awards in Cardiff in the Coal Exchange. What a lovely place it was, wasn't it?
It was.
It was very nice.
Lovely old building.
10 of us went. We had a lovely time. Louise did a bit of detective work with regards to certain things, and she got it wrong.
Not for the first time.
But I'm pleased to say that we won a little award for the best arts and crafts.
Arts and creative.
Arts and creative.
The best arts and creative in Wales.
In Wales.
Which is our country.
Yeah. Which is our country in Wales. So that's really cool. We didn't win the Brilliance Award, unfortunately, which we were so hoping for as well. But to come away with the one trophy...
To come away with any trophy is brilliant, isn't it?
Is better than nothing.
And it's a national award.
It's a national award.
A national award.
So thank you very much for all the kind words for that. We didn't have too much to drink. We were all... Cheeky bum, isn't he?
He's got his bum out.
He's got his bum out. So what's on his front then?
Nothing. I don't know. Don't get into that, Andrew.
It's like Action Man, isn't it?
I'm trying to try and figure that out.
It's like Action Man when you go...
Perhaps he's wearing a thong.
I thought it could be.
We don't know. Anyway, let's not get bogged down on that.
We're not going to get involved in that sort of discussion. And yeah, we had a bit, not too much to drink, but enough to drink. And we got in...
Speak for yourself.
We got in way past midnight, and we are extremely tired. Hence the reason why we've come on now a little bit earlier so we can finish bang on 5 o'clock. Thank you all very much for that. Yeah, better arts and creative in the world.
Oh.
That would be nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, it was a really good evening. We all went down in tux, and the ladies all dressed up as well. Really, everyone looked absolutely smart, didn't they? We got pictures on Facebook. We should have put some pictures up on the computer here, shouldn't we, for people to see?
I can get some. They're on Facebook anyway.
Yeah, they're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right then. Do we need to say anything else? Oh, tell you what. Stan got in contact with us.
Yes.
I'll put that back on so people can see what's
happening
here.
After the Q&A last week, I sent a final email just basically saying this is your last chance to claim your prize. And was it the day after or possibly the day after that? I had a reply. So yeah, Stan's claimed His
prize, last month's prize. So I'm afraid there's only one prize available now for this month. We do actually have, you're looking decidedly gorgeous today.
Who?
You.
What? Like I've just been dug up, I'm sure.
No, you're just very radiant.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely,
good Lord.
absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we haven't drawn this month's yet because we've had so much going on. The house we had problems with last week, that's all been sorted, so there's been no more stress over that.
No.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty much all back to normal now. We're going to be drawing last month's, we're going to be drawing October's prize now tomorrow, so all At The Bench members will be notified who has won. So don't forget, you've got to be in it to win it. This month, I think we've got a GRS Benchmade system. Whatever GRS Benchmade system you want, you are in with a chance of winning simply by being a paid member of At The Bench. It is as simple as that. So all the other stands can change their names back to their... Oh, my
And it all got a bit Spartacus last week, didn't
it did, yes. I'm Stan. No, I'm Spam. I'm Spam.
I'm Spam. Oh dear, and that's why we're going to finish bang on 5 tonight, I think.
Oh my goodness me. So, thank you very much. More I want to make it out. All right, so let's start our Q&A. So we're not going to go over time today. It's going to be bang on 5 o'clock. We're going to be finishing. Thank you to everybody who have placed orders via the At The Bench store as well over the weekend. We just finished putting all those together. Another load of orders to go out, so thank you all very much. If you don't know what we're on about, At The Bench has its own online store selling all different types of tools. We've started to introduce CZs. Yes, Lou?
I was just going to say that, because I didn't realise, I thought you were just stocking random things.
Yeah.
And you said to me the other day...
Swap these around.
You said to me the other day that it's things that we use and recommend.
Yes.
So, you know, like if you go on a website with everything on it and you don't know what to have or what to buy and you don't know who to go to for advice, but there's not... you can't get everything on the At The Bench shop, but the things you can get are the things that we use every single day in the workshop.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So everything is sort of tried and tested. Yeah,
if you want to know what Andrew personally recommends, it's basically the stuff that's on the shop.
Yes, At The Bench.
So
there's we're slowly increasing the products each week. There's more products going on. I think there's more products going on now tomorrow. But yes, it's, as Louise says, everything that we use here, not just here in this little recording studio, but also downstairs in our workshop that's attached to the shop. Not everything, but all the equipment that we've got so far on the At The Bench store is all the equipment that we use, so we can be sure we know exactly how it is, how it works, and if you have any problems, you can always give us a call or email us on that. Apologies for a little bit of downtime over the weekend regarding the ticket system on At The Bench as well. That's all back to normal. That's all back hunky-dory. That's going to be super, super, super. But yeah, so don't forget atthebench.store or atthebench.shop. Pop on there. We introduce a whole load of round cubic zirconias, CZs on there, cheaper than Cookson's, I do believe. But anyway, should we get cracking on with our Q&A, Lou?
Yes, Rebecca, thank you so much for the honey wine.
Absolutely.
We haven't tried it yet. I'm unlikely to tonight because I'm still feeling a bit fragile, but it looks absolutely stunning. We can't wait to try it, so thank you very, very much.
Absolutely, we should try that this week, won't we?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Should we start?
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we? It is Monday, the 8th of November, 4 p.m. It's pretty much the nearest we've been to 4 p.m. for months, actually. It is time for our question and answer. This camera is ever so slightly wonky, but I can't be bothered getting off my seat to adjust it. Louise, may we have our first question, please?
Yes. Jade is saying, congratulations, thank you. Can you tell me how thick the metal should be for practicing flush setting 3 to 4 mil crystals?
Okay, so really, it doesn't matter too much if you're only practicing. I've got a little bit of a practice plate by here with a small little stone in. And this is a small little practice plate, as you can see here. Okay, bit of silver, admittedly. David, you are a ledge.
Oh, thank you, David.
You are kind. Thank you, David. Thank you so much indeed. Always appreciated. Thank you very much. Hi and bye. Oh, it's a short one. Catch you next. Yes, catch us up on the replays. You know that. But yeah, appreciate it so much. Thank you very much, David. Do appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. We've got our little bit of silver. There's a stone in it. Now, when you come to practice, but as it's not going to be on a ring, for instance, it doesn't matter whether the culet, the bottom of the stone, sticks out of the plate. This plate here is approximately 1.5 millimeters. It says 1.8, but we got a little bit of plastic on there, so I think that's about 1.5 millimeters. And the stone depth on this little 2 millimeter is around about 2 millimeter actually, so it must be a bit bigger than 2 millimeter. Yeah, okay. 2.5 millimeter stone. It sticks down total about 2 millimeters. The plate is 1.5 millimeters. But if you've got, I cleaned my whiteboard. Look at that. Ooh. Piece of metal that is 1.5 millimeters. Okay, you've got your stone here. This stone, for argument's sake, is 2.5. Okay, and this stone has a depth of 2. So by the time you set this stone into the setting, your plate, it sticks out, which is fine. It doesn't matter because it is only a practice piece. The metal can go thinner as long as you've got enough metal here to seat the stone onto, it's fine. So really you could go down to perhaps 1 millimeter or perhaps 1.25 millimeter, because you don't necessarily need all that. So practice pieces of copper, you don't have to go right the way to the bottom. When you come to hold the ring, you can use various different devices, like this one here. This is a little device from GRS. You can put that, he says, you could put that in here, and as long as the bottom, the culet of the stone isn't obstructed, because I could even go into there like that, you see. Okay, so we can start to flush set using something like that, and as long as the culet of the stone is not obstructed, you can get away with whatever thickness metal you want. Obviously, all this changes if you want to start putting the stones into rings and so forth, where the culet, the bottom part of the stone, really should not stick below. Then you're going to have to go for a thicker piece of metal. Practice pieces, I wouldn't worry, as long as you've just got enough metal for the stone to sit in, preferably virtually level with the metal, and you've got a little bit for the stone to sit on, you should be absolutely fine with that. Louise, may we have another question?
I'm going to leap to Claire's question to the end here. Claire's asking about Hire Claire, asking about the workshop. When's the first workshop date going to be? And I'm going to pin you down now in front of everybody and get a date from you, because I've been asking you for a couple of weeks.
I don't know.
See, this is what he keeps saying. What we need to do is we need to put out a...
Let me have a look.
Do we need to put out a questionnaire
we need
what
to
sort of time? Because obviously you're all in different time zones, so it's...
The problem is now we have to fit in also with us, and the only time that we've really got is from 4 o'clock onwards here on a Thursday, haven't we?
Well, I mean, really we can do, if it's once a month, we can be flexible.
Okay.
Within reason, but it's no point us doing 4 o'clock on a Thursday if half of the people who are going to watch it are in bed. I mean, obviously you can watch it later, and
but the idea is
everyone else is in work or doing something else. So I don't know, it's just finding that optimal time so that we're hopefully going to be awake. And what are you doing?
I'm looking up at you, you see with the boxes.
So, okay, so that we're going to be awake, and everybody else is going to be awake, and so that most people can. I can't look at them, and most people are going to watch it. So perhaps we'll do that now this week. Put some questionnaires out so that you guys can
let us know. What
we'll
is
just
the
give
best
you maybe like a multiple
time.
choice. What's your best?
Yes,
time?
and I think as the workshops are going to be so 2 to 3 hours, we will say, do you want it between, say, 5 and 7
Yeah.
on a Thursday? Now,
That's 2 hours.
minimum of 2 hours.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We said between 2 and 3 hours, depending upon the technique. Some techniques can.
It's likely to be longer than that, though, isn't it? Given your verbal diarrhea. not that comes out your mouth. Obviously, it's all good stuff. Your pearly pills of wisdom. But yeah, but there's lots of it, isn't there?
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Thank you, Lisa. So, yeah, I lost where I am.
I'm very tired. I've got no filter. Sorry.
So it's going to be things like, we're going to be setting it all in British summer, no, Greenwich Mean Time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Those are the times we're going to be putting in, and then you're going to have to then work out what is going to be the best time to fit in with your schedule. So we'll be putting things down, for argument's sake, Thursday 5 till 7 or 5 till 8, and then you're going to have to work out what that is in your time zone to see if that's going to be appropriate. So if we can work over that over the next couple of days, we'll get those out, sent to all the members. Perhaps we'll put a little post on here on the community on YouTube with a link to the form as well.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
I think that's going to work then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just don't forget that it's going to be British time, isn't it?
Yeah. Greenwich Mean Time.
Because we didn't factor that into one of the questionnaires, and we ended up converting everyone's time and it took hours and hours. So if you guys can just convert it to GMT for us, that would be very, very helpful.
Very appreciated, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, should we carry on?
Yeah, Joe's asking, how long was your acceptance chat last night?
Considering there was 30 awards to get through, there was more than 30 because there was runners-up as well.
There was an extra as well.
There must have been 30, 35, there must have been about 50 or 60 awards in total, including runners-up, and they were on for just over an hour. It was literally a sprint to the front to pick up your little trophy, quick with the camera, and then sprint back for
They practically like pushed you off stage then before you could open your mouth.
before the next one. So unfortunately, there was no. But I did give a bit of a speech in the minibus on the way home.
I gave a drunken speech as well.
Yeah,
which was like Gwyneth Paltrow's Oscar acceptance, wasn't it, I think?
Let's have another question.
Let's have a question. Dylan is trying to figure out how to ask this question. I basically made a wire with a hole in the centre, unsure how I did it and don't like it. I think it was a bad cast, but unsure.
All
What
right.
advice can you give?
I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Did you cast the wire? Did you cast the ingot? Something like that. Sometimes what happens is if you're drawing down wire, you actually have wire, okay? And if you're pulling it through draw plates, what you may find is that the outside edge will get, and if I draw a little side view of this, there's the edge of the wire. As you draw it through the draw plate, you sometimes find the outer edge of the wire will extend a little bit, and you sometimes get that sort of shape on the end of your wire, so it looks like a hole. If you've got a hole in your casting, there must have been an air pocket in that. A lot of people do recommend that you forge the ingot before you roll it. So you put it up on a mandrel, or not a mandrel, or you put it on a bench block, or one of those big things called anvils, that's it. And you hold onto it and you hammer it, and that will compress all the metal. I was reading something by Charles Luton Brain a few days ago, because somebody was saying they get blistering, they get air coming through their ingot that they're rolling in the rolling mill. And a lot of the time is the silver will take up the oxygen, and you'll have little microscopic pockets trapped in with the silver. Now, he was saying that if you just simply start to roll that down and then you heat up the metal, the air will expand, which causes all the little blisters. But he said that if you force and hammer and forge the ingot...
Sorry, Rebecca's saying please zoom onto the whiteboard, but you've just rubbed it out, so...
I did have another camera, but the power pack to that camera is broken. So we've got a little stand right above the little monitor that's right in front of me here that we're going to put another camera that we're going to have directly on the board. When to do it today, power pack's broken. So for next week, we should all be sorted. I must remember to order a new power pack for the camera. Yes, so by forging it and hammering it, you're actually compressing it and forcing those little air pockets together, so there is no air pockets when you roll it, you don't get the bubbles. The same thing may be happening with your ingot. If you have a little ingot, you know, like this sort of shape, yeah, and inside there's like a hole by here, and you roll it and you roll it and you roll it, and there's the whole pocket there, and then you draw it, and yeah, so it sounds like either a bad casting, or you should forge the ingot before you start to roll it out or draw it down. That should then get rid of the holes. Louise, let's have another question with you.
Okay, Tanya is asking, how long do I need to pre-polish, please?
There is no real time scale that you have to be able to pre-polish. As long you polish for as long as it takes to remove the marks from the previous finishing operation.
It's always a lot longer than I think.
Yeah. Oh, perhaps Louise would like to answer this question because she's been doing a lot of polishing recently.
I just feel like I'm stuck in a never-ending, getting lots of practice. So yeah, just polish for as long as you think, and then add another like 3 days in my case.
But it is hard. It's knowing all about. So I'll start off with the most easiest of ideas. Okay, so for argument's sake, you've got a little sheet of silver, and you want to polish the sheet, okay? So you've soldered it or whatever you've done to it. You've got some emery paper. We use 600 grit, but people will go up to 800 grit, 1000 grit, that sort of thing. And as long as you buff your emery paper in one direction, okay? In this direction. You then will get slight little marks going across the metal, okay? Very, very slight. Now you want to pre-polish it. Now you're going to get your mops, you're going to get your flex shaft, you're going to get your Dremel, you're going to get some Menzuna pre-polish available on the At The Bench store. Okay, so the idea is you've got all the lines running this way. Now what you want to do is to get your polishing mops. Okay, so here's your mops now, and the mops are spinning in this direction now. Okay, so you want to go now in this direction. Okay, you want to polish. Okay, so the polish is coming in this direction, which is going to start to put lines now in this direction. And what you're looking for is for these lines that are going across the piece to disappear, to be replaced by just very, very faint, very faint, perhaps not even lines, but slight like ripples or marks you can see in the surface in going in this direction. So as long as you can see all these lines and you can see no lines running across from this operation on, say, your 1000 grit, that's as far as you need to go to pre-polish. Then once you've done that, then you turn the piece around 90 degrees, okay? Turn the piece around 90 degrees, so all these lines are now going in this direction. Then you use rouge and you go at 90 degrees. So when you come to finish, you always work at 90 degrees to the previous direction, whether you've done emery paper or whether you've used your pre-polish before you go on to your rouge. And as Louise knows, yep.
I was going to say, have we still got any more of Stephen Goldsmith's?
We do. Yes.
That is in stock. That's a good one, isn't it?
That is a very good one, yes.
Because I would never have thought there was enough to know about polishing to write a whole book.
There is a whole book.
It, but yeah.
Let me just go see how many we got. We have Stephen Goldsmith's book. We've got 2 left.
2 left. Okay.
So
that's it.
So this is on.
You're not selling mine now, are you?
No. We got 3 copies left if we include Louise's. So this is the. That's a bit close, Andrew. That camera, isn't it? A bit wider on that one. There we go. We got polishing and finishing for jewelers and silversmiths. Louise heartily recommends it. It's the same with the books. The books that we sell on the store are the not the actual books, but the same books that I have bought and Louise has bought over the period of time. So again, they are very, very good books. We don't stock books that we don't like. We don't stock books that we think are not good and not correct and not the way that we would like to work. But this book by Stephen Goldsmith, grab that from the At the Bench store. We got 2 copies left. You can get that out to you within a day or so. You can choose first class post, second class post, whatever you want to choose. But it's a very, very good book, and there's lots of information in there. And so, as Louise just said, you don't realise how much there is to know about polishing. And there's all sorts of things. It seems really, really easy, but once you start to get intricate pieces of jewellery and you got to try and work on ways to polish it, especially with the bristle brushes that you've been using, you've been finding it hard, and I
think that's the thing, isn't it? You can sit there for hours and hours and hours, but if your technique is not spot on, then you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money, aren't you? And you're just there spraying polish in your face for hours and just and then you come along and you say, well, orientate it like that. And, you go, and it's done in front.
And it's done.
Yeah, so it's that sort of thing, really, isn't it?
It is just purely experience. Yeah. So yeah, pop along and get that book. It's in the atthebench.store. Okay, Louise, let's have another question.
Okay, Gillian is asking, do I need to add a piece of silver inside a hollow tube bangle before I repair it? It has been squashed and broken apart.
A lot of the times when it comes to hollow bangles, it's one of the things that we call stirrups. The bangle comes along, the bangle carries on, and it's got with a nasty crack. It's a nasty crack like that across the bangle, or the bangle comes along and it's literally squashed like that. Okay, so what we would do in both cases, we would basically cut out that little nasty section, so we will trim the ends so the ends are flat like that. Likewise down here, you would measure from here to here, measure that, you'd cut off, okay, so you remove that. All right, so that's what we would do. Then in this case, we would very, very simply get very, very thin piece of gold or silver, depending upon the metal that you're working with, and we would simply wrap it around the, so like that. Okay, so that's the metal we've just wrapped around. We would wrap it around those broken ends, nice and tight, nice and close. Then we would flood this area by here with solder. Okay, we put solder in this area and flood the solder so the solder floods. When it comes to this, what we would do is get some little bit of tubing, the same length and that little bit more by about 2 millimeters from there to there, and then we would slip one end of the bangle in there, one end into the bangle there, and do the same thing, flood it with solder, flood it with solder. So yes, it is going to be slightly thick than the rest of the bangle here, but it's going to be a lot more solid. If you don't have a piece of tubing small enough, okay, so you've got your bit of tubing here, all right, and it's too big, what we would do is just simply cut out a section running all the way along like that. Yep. Like that. You'd have that section cut out, then we would just force the tubing together to make it that little bit tighter so it becomes the right internal diameter here to go over the outside of the hollow bangle there. So yeah, that would be the best way to do it. We often get these in bangles, always get cracked, always get caught, but we do this an awful lot. Very, very thin piece of metal wrapped around, nice and tight. Anneal it well so it bends to fit around it, and you can do that quite nice and quite easy and quite straightforward. Louise, how's it going?
It's fine. I was just thinking of something.
Yes.
Somebody asked about your dialite the other week.
Yes.
And I don't want to get back into the debate about it again, because we kind of like all agreed that if it's radioactive and potentially harmful to health, it's probably not worth wearing.
Having it, yes.
But I found it, I don't know if you guys probably know about this, dragon's blood jasper.
Okay.
And I thought it reminded me of your dialite, and I thought it was quite similar. So if, oh, actually, it's not that similar. Not that I've put them side by side, but it's
£100.
Yeah, can you share?
There we go, yeah.
So yeah, that was the Eudialite, which I'd not heard of until I think Jimmy mentioned it the other week. Yeah, so it's kind of like greeny red, and Dragon's Blood Jasper is...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was along the same sort of vein anyway.
Really nice.
So I thought I'd mention it. Have you seen that before?
No, never seen Dragon's
It's cool,
Blood
isn't it?
Jasper. That's very nice,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, it just might be a good alternative to Eudialite.
And safer.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't checked its radioactive properties yet. Perhaps it's, but yeah, I don't think it is radioactive. If it is, I'm just going to absolve myself of responsibility for it. Yeah. Oh, Susan, you're joking. Dragon's Blood is a mix of Eudialite. Oh man! Oh, scrap that then. Is it really? Are you having me on?
We don't know.
I have. Oh no, Dylan, don't polish it. I didn't know it was a mix of Eudialite. Pure Eudialite is red crystal. Yeah. Oh. There we are. Okay.
No,
well,
well,
yeah.
never
Scrap
mind.
that then. It's Eudialite. Do you know? Oh, I must be getting better then. If I thought they were. So yeah, no, don't do that then. If it's Eudialite. Okay.
Let's have another question.
One of us being really clever then.
Never sees you. Okay.
Wait, how far did we get? Sandra is remaking a necklace into a bracelet. It hasn't sold, so I'm soldered. I'm attempting to give it a... Oh, it hasn't sold. Sorry. I'm rewriting your question here. I'm remaking a necklace into a bracelet. It hasn't sold, so I'm attempting to give it a second life. Wish me luck. Oh, fab. Love that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Definitely. Because we often get necklaces to make into bracelets, don't we?
Yeah, we've had a couple in the last week, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. Polo saying, Andrew, please get Louise a proper background. Can you get one so it looks like I'm on a desert island? Or
I
like,
could actually, yes. Yeah. That background is just basically for a bit of noise reduction. That is because we've got obviously plastered walls in here. We've got this, and that side that Louise is on is completely plastered as well. It's just to stop the echo. But what we could do, I suppose, is put that wall behind the camera here all with cloth, and that would deaden the sound, and then we could try and get Louise a nice little background then, couldn't we? So that might be an idea. Or we just simply put up a green screen and she can have whatever background then she wants. So I'll let her decide. We have a green screen that we can put behind there for you, and you have whatever you want, and that'd be awesome. What do you want? What sort of background do you want?
The world's my oyster now. I could go anywhere, couldn't I? I could go anywhere.
They can almost make it look as if we were international. You could be in, say, San Francisco.
I could, with, you know, like...
news, and especially if I do this, and now what? Now
could I have like a newsroom behind me and everyone bustling around? Very good. That'd be really important then.
Come on, let's have another question.
Okay. Let's see. Michael's saying, is Andrew going to melt the award down and make jewellery out of it?
Well, Jason decided, he said, why don't we just set little jewels in his wreath?
Oh, that you mean? When I was reading that, Claire said you can cast him a tiny set of crown jewels, and that was in my head. So I was, oh, do you know what?
What does she mean? What does she mean?
Okay. Carrie is saying, what did you find to wear? I just wore a navy.
I didn't just find it, Louise. You didn't just
it was
find
hell, wasn't it? It was
didn't
absolute
just find
hell.
It was about the 6th dress you bought.
All right.
Another skag. One wasn't right. One was too big. One was too tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. How far have we got? Lots of lovely chat on here, that's good. Debbie wants to make an adjustable band for making a ring. Any suggestions regarding method or measurement?
You have to decide obviously on how many sizes the ring needs to be adjustable. There's not much point, I'm not quite sure where in the world you are, but not much point having something that will go from an A to a Z, because that's going to look really ridiculous. You're going to have to look at what sort of the popular sizes for men and women are, for large fingers and for small fingers, and make up the rings according to that. Some people will just simply do bypass rings. So the ring will come around, it just overlaps Yep. Outside, coming on the inside. Yeah, so they just simply, when you looked at it on top, they look like that. Yeah, some people just do simple bypass rings like that. That's absolute rubbish drawing, Andrew. Never seen you draw so bad in all my life. Yeah, so let's just simply like a bypass ring. That's the easiest way to do it. And then you can just pass around the ends off and just have it so then you can move it 3 or 4 sizes. What I don't usually like to see is when you have a ring, say, looking from the side and then the ring overlaps that way. So one band is underneath the other. I don't normally like to see that, but this style is quite nice. Or why not make a little feature and have it like a baby bangle where the 2 pieces sort of over, hey, we're off again. Where did that come from?
Don't know.
Well, Mrs. Lloyd wants to make an appearance.
She did the other week, didn't she?
She did the other week, didn't she? Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that was rather scary. Thank you very much, Mrs. Lloyd, for that. I do appreciate. I do appreciate that. But there you go. Yes, or make it like a feature, as you do with. I'm just trying to think on my feet now. Here, you're going to have like a bypass, like that, and then make it like an expanding bangle, couldn't you? You could have like a stirrup going over here. Yep, over that end there like that. And likewise on this here, a bit of a stirrup going over each side. So this edge here would be soldered, that edge there would be soldered, and that would be going around in a loop with the 2 pieces of metal inside. So it can open and close. You could do that. But there's no hard and fast rule, I'm afraid. You just have to make sure that you cover the size that you need to. So perhaps gents, thicker wire, adjustable from, I don't know, P, QRSTUV, something like that. And for a lady's narrow band, going from something like a J to an O, something like that, or whatever size it is in your country. But I don't think there is any definite set amount. Mrs. Lloyd, let's have another question, please, Louise.
She was here the other day, wasn't she?
That was really scary, because I was here in the studio here on the computer where Louise is just by there. Or if I go here, she's just by there. And Louise came up the stairs. She went, Andrew, where are you? And I said, I'm in here. And with that, the front room door, going into the front room, opened, didn't it?
It just went...
It
went like that. It
opened and
shut
closed.
Like that. It was so weird, because I came up the stairs and the door opened and shut like that. And I went, hello, because I assumed you'd gone in there and just shut the door and I didn't see you go in. And then you went, hello, from here. And I was like, oh my God.
Anyway, Mrs. Lloyd makes another appearance.
Yeah, she's been quiet for a while, hasn't she?
She has.
If she's in there, was she blooming tidy up?
No, it is. Mind you, do you know
maybe that's why she's...
That front room
clean that pigsty up,
Andrew. That front room is cold.
Yeah.
I went there today. It's getting
My mum
colder.
went in there the other day and she said, there's atmosphere in there.
There's no atmosphere if I haven't turned the heating on. Let's have another question.
Kenneth, hi Kenneth. I'm wondering if it's safe to use a PUK TIG welder to fit an earring post on a hollow hoop earring in white and yellow 9-carat gold. The post will be welded to the yellow gold part. Please advise.
I don't think, we have the puck here and it's a brilliant, brilliant machine, but I don't rate it as a piece of equipment that is capable of the strength involved with ear wires. A lot of the times we have ear wires with gemstones in, perhaps with rubies or with opals or cubic zirconias, and the post snaps off the back. Now, the problem you've got a flat back of an earring, you've got your post here. The problem is you've got a very, very small surface area. I know this isn't what you're talking about, but let me just explain what I mean. The surface area we've got here is very, very small. So what we would do in this case, we would melt the end, we get the puck, we'd send the electrode on the end so it balls the end. Okay, then we will just file the bottom of the ball and that increases the surface area. Then what we would do is come in here with the electrode and puck all the way around the piece. That increases the surface area. Now the problem that you've got, if you've got an ear wire and you want to solder it did Ken kind of say about a tube? A tube?
Put a TIG welder to veneer and post on a hollow hoop earring in white and yellow 9-carat gold. The post will be welded to the yellow gold part.
Okay, so I would still solder this. I presume it's like a hollow tube, and the post will be soldered inside the tube. No, I don't think a puck would be strong enough, because the puck really can only weld in this little area here, because when the wire goes into the tube, the wire sort of will come a little bit further in, like that there. So when you come to solder and you put your pally in a solder here, the solder will flow along inside the wire and fasten the wire into the tube. The puck cannot do that. The puck can only weld where it sees. So the puck, if you have the electrode here, it'll only weld there. If you put the puck in this direction, the electrode here, it will only puck there. So it's not going to have the same amount of strength that solder was. And that's why the PUK and the same with the Orion welders are great. They are amazing pieces of equipment, but only for certain applications. It's never going to do away the torch or with solder, and these sort of applications it's not suitable for. You used to be able to get an attachment for the puck or the PUK4 that used special fitting and special posts to tack weld onto the backs of things, but you couldn't do it with stone set or anything like that. It would have to be done in that particular way by making that area bigger. So Kenneth, save your money. You're going to have to do it all by hand, I'm afraid, and use a nice bit of solder. Do you have another question? And don't forget, any advice given in the chat that you take up is done so at your own risks.
Yeah, we've been talking about potentially radioactive stones, and we are not qualified to advise, so we probably say no. Well, we would say no.
Definitely say no, yeah.
Yeah, we would say no. Don't wear it, don't polish it, don't cut it, don't pulverize it. That would be our advice.
Yes, so yeah. So any you take, I've noticed there's been a few people talking about ingots as well. But whatever, any advice that you use, given in the chat, you do so at your own risk. Okay, Louise, let's have another question.
Okay. Little 64 is asking, what stones are safe to go in the ultrasonic? For example, topaz, peridot, citrine, garnet. According to Rio Grande, they say no, and I'm confused. Please help.
Okay. Perhaps as your...
I put topaz in the ultrasonic. I did it this morning. Well, you did it this morning. I got to go back out, but I put...
white topaz.
Yeah, I wouldn't put opal, ruby. I put synthetic ruby in, but if it's fracture filled, it can't go in.
Definitely not emerald.
Emerald, no, absolutely not.
Ethiopian
under any circumstances.
Opal?
Any opal, really, because even that when you dipped in.
That was Ethiopian.
Yeah.
And so I saw something.
Apparently,
apparently, I read this on. Sorry to interrupt. I read this on one of the Facebook groups on about Ethiopian. I've had problems saying Ethiopian opal. That really absorbs water really quickly, as opposed to some of the Austrian opals that are slightly porous but don't take in an awful lot.
Right.
So that's the reason why the Ethiopian opals turn that colour, because they soak up the water, and when then that water disperses, it goes back. So that's the reason why.
I mean, it's probably best not to upset the hydration levels.
Because somebody wore it in a hot tub, you see. And
do you know what? It's so easy to just go in and forget, isn't it?
Oh yes, darling. Yeah, just easy to pop.
I mean, if you've got jewellery on, do you know what I mean?
Just easy to pop into the hot tub.
Right.
But it is. You think that you sit there with the rings on, and you go, "Oh my gosh, the rings!" Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you say
citrine? You'd probably be okay with quartz, won't you?
I would have thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do have to be very careful regarding
citrine, amethyst, that sort of thing. I put them in. But yeah, emerald is always a no-no, because the vast majority will be fracture filled and oiled. Yeah. So you'll ruin it. Peridot?
Some people said no to peridot, didn't they?
But I've done it.
Okay, you have to...
Any advice taken from Louise is done to at your own risk. Just putting that out there.
obviously you have to ultrasonic safe. I think I'm going to make this something.
Okay.
You have to ultrasonic safe.
Right.
So, an ultrasonic, you obviously have heat, you obviously have a length of time. If you're clever and you're sensible and you understand the ultrasonic, you can work around the ultrasonic.
That is true, but then there are so many, when you're just starting out working with gemstones,
yeah,
it's just fast, isn't it? There's so many and so much to know. That's why you're better off just buying Sally Spencer's book. Actually, Sally is, I don't think it is, Laura, but I'll find out from Sally. I don't think it is available as an ebook, but Sally is bringing out courses to complement the book, which I think they're going to be available from this month, and they're going to be available by I'm getting excited now, I'm stumbling with my words, available via Zoom. So you can sign up to Sally's newsletter via, I think I did it via a website, but if you pop onto her Facebook page, Sally Spencer Jewellery, yeah, you can find out some more about that, because I'm interested in that.
sallyspencer.co.uk.
Yeah, so that's going to be good, and it's designed to be used in conjunction with the book.
This amazing book.
So yeah.
4 copies left on our store. This has been flying out.
Yeah, we need to restock.
I think over the weekend, I think we sold about 10 of these. So brilliant book. If you haven't seen it already, we sold them out twice. Yeah, absolutely. So this is Sally Spencer's The Jeweller's Quick Reference Guide to Working with Gemstones. I heartily recommend that book.
Never again will you wonder if you can put an almondine garnet or anything like that in the ultrasonic. Because somebody asked me about tourmaline the other day.
Yes.
And I just looked it up in Sally's book.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, but this is the whole point of the book.
Yeah, it's fab.
It says...
You're never going to remember it all, especially the ones that you don't use too regularly. Obviously, you know opals and pearls and your emeralds and things like that, but you...
Almondine garnet, what can you do with it?
I don't know. I should know.
Barrel polish, avoid. Steam, avoid. Ultrasonic, avoid if stone has fractures or inclusions. Very good book. Don't forget, atthebench.store, books and all. Louise, let's have another question.
Topaz has a cleavage problem. I think it cleaves basally, doesn't it? Is it that much of a problem when it's cut and set in jewellery, though?
Don't know.
Okay. Right. Right, so yes. Where are we? Yvonne is saying, I'd like to clean my Apple Watch Milanese?
Yes.
Loop
brace,
band?
yeah. Yeah, the bracelet there, Milanese.
Okay. Is it possible to put it in the ultrasonic?
Yes.
It's stainless steel with a magnetic clasp.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Or steam cleanup. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Susan's saying ultrasonic stone guide. Stones can emit little internal flaws that may react in the ultrasonic. Yeah. Yep, so...
Right, Logan's just come on and said, what would you suggest? Ultrasonics love cleavage.
Don't say anything, Andrew.
I'm just saying YouTube has decided to hide that comment.
It's very childish, isn't it, YouTube? Grow up, YouTube, come on. Talking about gemstone cleavage.
Logan's just asking, what is the best rolling mill for a beginner? Durston Agile looking down there, Agile C100. Agile AGILE C130 Durston. That is one of the best mills that you can buy. It's a combination, that's what the C stands for, so you can do wire, sheet and D-section wire as well. Try and get a mill that has a gearbox, not a direct drive, is going to be far better. But something like this, Durston Agile C100, if you're a member of At The Bench, pop along to the members dashboard, to the benefits page, and you've got coupon codes for a lot of manufacturers that you can get discounts from. So you can get, I think it's about 5 or 10% discount off Durston, which would make it an absolute bargain to get yourself one of those. They will also ship internationally as well at a reasonable rate. How's it going there, Lou?
I think I've missed a question.
Okay.
Did I miss your question? Yes. Oh. No, I don't think I have. I'm sorry, Mossy, did I miss your question?
There's somebody saying about how to solder jumping that goes onto a very delicate chain. You can use a solder pick, as someone put into the chat as well. We have a film on At the Bench. In fact, we have a film on YouTube as well with that particular, using a solder pick to solder the jump rings. Yes,
Can you put it in the description when you...
I gotta remember to do that.
I'll remind you.
Just pop on YouTube and search for it. Not you, but you know, I didn't mean
you. Oh,
you.
I thought you meant me. Very tired.
Let's have another question.
Okay. Faye is saying I have bezel set, a pear-shaped stone, and it has a bit of movement when I push back and forwards. Is there anything I can do to fix this without redoing? You could get some hypo cement, which is like a slight resin. Not resin. God, you know what? It's hard work when you're tired, isn't it? You just don't really think. What I would do is get some, like a little bit of rubber cement, hypo cement that you use perhaps for doing your beading, and I would just get a bit on your finger and just scrape it. So you have a cabochon here. It's not water soluble, is it?
No. And what I would do is get my finger and then I would just scrape it. So you just scrape it slightly underneath. Does that make sense? You get on your finger and you scrape
it. Wipe it into the cavity.
Yeah, wipe it into the joint here. Because you're not cheating, you're not using it to glue, but it'll just stop the stone from moving. So perhaps if you push it down on this side here and then scrape your finger just to get a little bit of rubber cement in here, and then likewise over here, here's the bezel on this side, do exactly the same. You scrape your finger, here's your finger here, there's your nail, there's your bit of hyper cement, and you just scrape it into this little area here, and that will just stop the stone then from moving back and forth. Obviously the best thing to do is not to have it moving back and forth. Perhaps your bezel was too high, or perhaps you could get a nice sharpened burnisher along here just to burnish that down a little bit more. Perhaps get the tip right onto the edge here to get that close onto the stone. But if you have a very, very slight bit of movement, rubber cement, it dries clear, or the hypo, is it hypo cement?
Hypo, yeah.
Hypo cement. Not quite sure what you'd have it in your country, but in here it's called hypo cement. Definitely.
What is it made of? It's like eyelash. I shouldn't say that because somebody might stick their eyelashes on with it. Eyelash glue, I was going to say, but it's not eyelash glue, but that's what it reminds me of. Don't use it to stick eyelashes on, for God's sake. I'm not doing very well today, am I? What is it? What is it?
Yeah, it doesn't say what it is exactly, does it?
It should say the beadle
Doesn't say.
Don't know.
We got it on the data sheet again. We got that in the store now.
Yeah, it'll be on there then.
It'll be on the data sheet saying what it is, yeah.
Okay.
Have you tried the UV cured glue? It's great. Absolutely, it'd be exactly the same thing. Nice one, Steve, for that. Yes. Cookson has cheap rolling mill for around
I'm very tired.
I want a pee-pee. Pepe. Jimmy, I personally wouldn't go for really cheap rolling mills. They are £200 and they're cheap for a reason. A lot of people seem E6000, that's what it is, yeah. A lot of people end up ruining the gears. What they do, they have a rolling mill, they'll start to want to roll out ingots and some sheets, and those sort of mills are not really made for a nice lot of heavy duty. So if it was me and what I did in the very beginning when I started, I saved my pennies and I spent about £500 on a rolling mill. You can often pick them up on eBay. So go onto eBay, put in perhaps Durston rolling mill, save your search, be notified by email and by text when people list that particular item that you searched for, and you'll be notified. That's the best place to get it.
It's a pity that nobody refurbs them, isn't it? So you can have one that's...
They are so scarce. Second-hand ones, they come up on eBay and they literally go.
Well, the thing is with the Durstons, they just...
Well,
they last, don't they? So people keep them.
Going. Yeah.
So
absolutely, because we sold ours that we've had for sort of 35 years, and we sold that a few months back. Nothing wrong with it at all, and it's going to go on and on and on and on and on. So they're brilliant machines. Buy a Durston, you buy it for life. You buy a cheap rolling mill, you'll buy 2 or 3 of those in your lifetime, and you might as well bought a good one right at the beginning. Okay, Louise, let's have another question. We're coming up to the end, sort of. We've got another 10 minutes to go, so we'll have a couple more questions, I think. We really do want to finish at 5 today, don't we?
Yeah. Paula is saying, I just made my first pair of earrings and wore them out last night.
Hey.
Oh, lush. It seems I didn't get all the rouge off from inside of the smaller jump rings. Any tips on how to get inside the smaller rings?
Yeah, just use, if you can buy an ultrasonic, buy an ultrasonic. If you don't, try and get some nice warm soapy water with a little baby's toothbrush. And I think that is one of the best ways to give it a nice clean, isn't it? You just make sure you soak the jump ring in the bit of water, make sure it's nice and warm, then get a baby's toothbrush and then just rub the baby's toothbrush around where you think the rouge is, and it should come off quite easy. Then come along with a nice soft cloth and just dry it off.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was just checking on there because Fiona just came on. It changes your life. It takes minutes to roll metal instead of a day with a cheap roll. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you very much for that. 7 other questions.
Oh, sorry.
It really is catching up in this now. But as Amco just said, obviously, thumbs up on this film, would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Carrie is saying, would you recommend a GRS Micro?
Micro what?
A GRS Micro.
Micro set-in block. Oh, hello, my little friend. It depends on what you're going to want it for. You can get your micro blocks, all right, like this, okay, which is great. But if you don't want to go to the expense of buying one of micro blocks like this here, my little Oscar's in the way, don't want one of these blocks, and you've got a Benchmate system, you can always buy this. This is an attachment for your Benchmate system, and the top is pretty much the same as the micro block. And like this, likewise with this.
Or standard block.
If you've got, where's my, there it is there. Let's have a look at this. If you've got your Benchmate already, if you've got your Benchmate already, here we go. If you've got your Benchmate already, what you can do, you can undo this, you can take that out, so this is that, you can get that will go in its place like that, screw that down, and now you have got, bring the camera on this face, now a closer look, there we go, and you can now use this that looks very much like your little ball vise, and it works in exactly the same way. So that's what I would do. If you've got a Benchmate, you can grab that. It's £200, something like that. Brilliant little addition to your Benchmate. If you haven't got one of these, your Benchmate systems, well then yes, you can come along and pick up your little micro balls like this. For jewellery, the micro balls are just enough. Then you could then fasten it onto your GRS. You could also get one of these as well, which is, there's one camera, there we go, Andrew, there we go. You can always get one of these, which also fits onto the GRS, which is the same sort of thing, but a bit more of a heavy duty vice. Again, this will spin, the nut's nice and tight on this. Will this spin? It won't spin because the nut is nice and tight, but this you've got as well that you can also use. But if you go for one of these little balls, what you're gonna have to have is, I would suggest, is one of these as well, which is going to be a tray, which won't fit on here because the knob to my drawer is in the way. But something like that then would go on, and then the ball would sit on that as well. So you've got to think about all these different, let's put GRS on my bench. So you've got to think about this. The vices, the ball vice is great, but you're going to be up here working with it, which is maybe not what you're after. You may want it lower, which means you've got to buy this. Or have a shelf, or just, yes, or buy the GRS. So which would I get? I would always get the Benchmate system to start off with, definitely. That would be one of my #1 major purchases. Absolutely fabulous, fabulous piece of kit. And don't forget, if you're a member of At The Bench, this month, GRS are giving away to one lucky At The Bench member a complete Benchmate system, should you happen to win it. But you've got to be a member of At The Bench. You've got to be in it to win it. Completely drawn at random. Somebody asked, how do I enter the draws to win the tools? You don't have to enter. All you've got to be is a paid member of At The Bench, and your name goes into the hat every month and you will win.
And then you have to reply when we say you've won. Quickly.
Yes, yes. If you don't reply to the emails when we tell you you've won your prize, if you don't reply, you will lose it. And we did give Stan an extra week. Shouldn't have done. We should have only given him 1 month.
Yeah, but
Stan's got it. Stan's happy. But
good.
In future, terms and conditions.
All right, don't tell Stan
rules
off now.
apply.
Perhaps he was busy, or yeah, I'm happy for Stan. Okay. What did I see? Oh, Chill93 is asking. Oh, I've lost it. Oh, I'm a new jeweler, but don't know anyone with a similar interest. I really need someone to critique my work. Any suggestions? Yes. This was exactly what the At The Bench forum was built for, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because it can be quite a lonely job or hobby, can't it?
Very
so
as well.
It was really to just bring people together, so you can chat to like-minded people, you can get advice, you can discuss projects. There's a member gallery, so you can post your work up and get constructive advice and lots of lovely compliments. So if you're a paid member at The Bench, that will all be accessible to you, along with over, how many are on there now? 1,600? 1,600 instructional videos and projects. Yeah, it's great.
Get to be a member. So many benefits of being an At The Bench member.
So yeah, there's lots of ways really to talk to other people and show your work off and get advice directly from Andrew via the projects tab, and from loads and loads of really helpful members as well.
Absolutely. Can you scroll down to the bottom then? Steve just asked, have I tried brass?
Yep, I'm just going to, sorry, Anko mentioned as well that if you've got something you want to show off, you can send it to me, a picture, not the thing, and I will show the world on the Q&A if you want. Anybody can do that. And
promote your social media channels as well on that as well.
Yes, send it to louise@andrewberry.co.uk.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tried the newer brass inside ring holding collets. No, I haven't tried the brass ones. I've only tried the plastic ones, and I think I've got a set of Ura's vice grips, inside ring, outside ring, coming to me as well shortly. But I haven't tried them, not the brass ones as of yet. Yes. Okay, should we have one more question? Then we're going to go. Yes.
Yes. Natalia said, I think Andrew should buy a plot of land in Wales and set up a jeweller's boot camp, complete with a library full of pre-approved books and no solder paste or adjustable saw frames inside.
Well, to be honest, this is the thing, isn't it? Lots of people do sell tools, but I don't want to sell the tools that I don't recommend, and I will not be stocking solder paste.
But I think it saves time, doesn't it? It's like, I mean, we're always happy to give advice if anybody wants to know about a product. You can approach us anyway.
Yeah.
But you know that the things that are on there, the things that
we
use every day.
Yes. So I will not be stocking adjustable saw frames in the store, only fixed, and I will not be stocking solder paste. I've got proper solder.
You haven't got frothy all afternoon.
I'm too tired. I'm just too tired. Far too tired. Last question then, please, Louise.
Yes, Elizabeth is saying, any idea what causes a cloudy look on metal after polishing and ultrasonic cleaning? It looked great going into the cleaner, but came out with cloudy and polished spots.
Sometimes it's due to the agitation of perhaps dirt within the solution. So we did just...
Eleni's on. Hi.
Eleni! Hello, Eleni. How are you?
Sorry to interrupt, Andrew.
How are you doing, Eleni? Okay, so there's one camera. There we go. That's better. We've got, sometimes that happens, and sometimes it happens when you've got some new solution within the ultrasonic. So I think sometimes when it comes to, if you've got some brand new solution, I would only put the pieces into the ultrasonic for seconds. If you feel it's got to be in there for minutes and minutes, there's something wrong. So when we have a new ultrasonic solution, usually on a Monday when we change it, and we have some silver, we will get the silver, we will polish it, we'll dunk it, and we'll dip it into the ultrasonic solution, just so then the water and the ultrasonic agitates and gets rid of the polish. Once the polish has been taken off, it can't do anything more, and usually that is what happens then. The water agitates and it will actually mark the silver. So don't leave it in the ultrasonic for longer than necessary, and that's what it sounds like what's happening. What's Lenny making?
I don't know, I've asked her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Okay.
So I think, is that about it then, Lou? Anything else to say?
So. Yeah,
Claire's
sorry,
off
we
to pay with the
didn't
solder
get...
paste. Claire,
I think she's just winding you up.
I've got nothing wrong with solder paste, provided you solder paste correctly. Responsibly, that's the word I'm looking for. Don't try doing solder paste on thick, wide bands or ring shanks, but it is ideal for small little soldering jobs. And then he's making bread.
Bread,
Very nice indeed.
Nice.
Anybody else making anything for food for tonight?
What are we having?
And can we come over, please?
We're tired. Very tired.
We're tired. All right, I think we should call it a day.
Okay.
Or not, yeah? Yes, all right, yeah?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? No?
I don't think so.
Nothing at all, nothing at all. But here's a little prize that we won last night for our, what is it, Karen? The best winner of the Best Arts and Creative Business in Wales 2021. He's a little guy holding his wreath between his hands. Oh, there he is there, look. That's cool, isn't it? Look at that. Let's get rid of that, shall we? There we go. Look at that. Looks more like an alien, I think, if you ask me. All right, everybody, thank you all very much for coming on today. Do you have to, Lou?
I'm just checking. Oh, Lisa is saying I can't fill propane torch. Filler won't fit around the nipple now. Why? And how to fix?
Sometimes I think it depends upon the...
Fitted and now it doesn't. How did it change?
Don't usually change. Perhaps you had a little adapter that went onto the nozzle of
Have those torches on your desk ever been easy to refill and then all of a sudden it doesn't? It won't fit in the channel. Why?
Check the channels on the bottom. These little areas here should all be the same. You shouldn't really be able to damage the bottoms there. What you sometimes will damage is, I've got some down there, is the canisters, the tip that comes out of the, can you just pass one over for me please, Lou, the yellow canisters to your left.
These ones?
This one's, yep. Super. So what sometimes happens is these little areas here, this little tip here will get damaged. Sometimes they will snap, they will break off. A lot of times there's also within the lids here, you've got little adapters that will work, that will go on as well. There's one there that will fit on, and that is slightly angled. So try and have a look at the lid, see if you've got any adapters that are plugged into the lid, but try that. If that doesn't work, grab yourself another new can, because those don't usually wear out, these things. It's usually the plastic bits on there that wear out, and you really should have no worries at all. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, you should have no problems at all filling them up, so it could well be the canister. How about that, Louise? Is that all right? Anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
Cool. All right, so everybody, thank you all very much for coming on today. Really do appreciate it. Let's do our sauce with, there we go, get Louise in the picture as well.
Oh,
Isn't that right, Louise?
Yes.
What's it like? It's like university challenge.
We need to be, yeah.
Berry. Where am I from? Where did I go? Berry, Howardian. Cox.
Lewis.
All right.
I think I've answered 2 questions on the university challenge.
Once.
Yeah, in my life. Yeah.
No, I think we watched it one day. I think you answered a couple. You answered more than me.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much indeed. Really do appreciate it. We're going to put him back in the shop window, try and milk this little chap as long as we possibly can. That sounded really, really rude, didn't it? Right, let's just go, shall we? Louise, have you had enough? We've had enough. Okay, everyone. The success of that winning the award we're going to milk for the next week.
That's what you meant, yeah.
That's what I meant. Okay. All right. Keep an eye out on social. Keep an eye on your emails for notification of when we're going to be running the workshops this week. And also, don't forget, keep your eyes peeled for some information on. It's a questionnaire on when you'd like to have these workshops as well.
Yeah.
I really do need to go home now because I am absolutely shattered. And look at myself in the monitor there.
We've got through the hour okay. I think we're ahead now.
Absolutely. So thank you all for coming on today. We will be seeing you next Monday, the 15th of November at 4 p.m. again. As I said, check out your socials. More products being added to the At The Bench store. Don't forget, if you want to know all about polishing.
Oh, your funny bone.
No, it wasn't. It was back of my hand on the...
It's not so funny.
It's not funny, no.
It's not
so
funny.
Don't forget, Polishing and Finishing, Stephen Goldsmith's book. Absolutely, Louise would recommend that book. And also, Louise would recommend this book as well by Sally Spencer.
I think everybody who's got that book recommends that book.
It is a good book, absolutely awesome book. So don't forget, pop along to the At The Bench store to pick up your copies. 4 copies of the Gemstone book. We've only got 2 copies left at the moment, so if you want it, grab it while you can. We'll be getting more stocks, but not for a week or so's time. At thebench.store. Everyone, we're going.
Who's that it?
Louise, yeah.
Okay.
Had enough?
Yeah, I'm going to go put my pyjamas on now, I think.
So everyone, thank you very much for coming on today. Really do appreciate it. Thank you it's been some lovely lot of chat today on the chat, obviously, and thank you to David for the super chat as well. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, David, for that. If you're watching this on your replay, enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Anything you want to say, Louise?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all for the support and the lovely congratulations.
Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. It has been lovely. Say bye, Louise.
Bye. I'll be in touch with you all in the next few days to find out when is your optimum times for the workshops. Absolutely. So we can get those gears in motion over the next week or 2.
And we do now. We've got a lot of things.
I love the way you say this to me, as if I've been the one holding it all up.
No, you haven't. I think we have had a lot on our plates over the last week or so.
Yeah, it's
been busy.
Yeah, that's why it's easy. It's better for me to make you do things live in front of the world, because then you can't renege on it then, can you?
All right, that's it. We're going to take care, and you take care, and we'll see you next Monday, 15th of November, halfway through the month, 6 weeks until Christmas. Wow, flying by.
Oh, don't say that.
All right, is there still just chatting? We're excited for the workshop. Yeah, we're excited too. It's going to be really, really good. We're going to have lots more camera angles, lots more information, but that's to come. So stay tuned for everything. Everyone, take care. We will see you all. Please be nice. Send in I'll send in my picked spoon challenge. Don't know.
What's our challenge?
Not our challenge. We haven't got a challenge going.
No. Do I have to make a new one for your challenge? I send in my picture spoon challenge. What's the challenge? Have I missed something?
I don't know.
I like the idea of a challenge. Do I have to make one for your...
No, only 2.
Silver spoon fork challenge. Huh? Okay.
Okay, everybody. Cool. Oh, yes? No?
No.
No. Okay, everyone, thank you. Take care. Say goodbye, Louise.
Goodbye.
See you next Monday, 4 p.m, 15th of November. Everyone, take care. I'm going to find my fade to black. Oh, it's big button this time. Take care, everyone. See you next. Bye-bye.